We're just upriver from Camp Mystic, and you don't have to look far to just see the heartbreaking symbolism of the violence of this storm and what it took from people's lives. Here we have, probably laid out by search teams, a photo album where the images have all been washed away by the floodwaters next to a child's chair. And then framing it above, look at the canoe bent around that tree, a good 30, 40 feet in the air. The hydrology in these canyons, of course, have been dangerous for decades. We've known that, but the planet is so much warmer now, and we're seeing in real time that these rain bomb events and the ensuing deadly flash floods are becoming even more violent. And for example, here, if you look at Camp Mystic, about 8 of their structures were inside FEMA's most dangerous floodplain there. But if you use a map used by the First Street Foundation, that number jumps to 17 buildings because FEMA does not account for flash flooding. So First Street Foundation does take into account these modern phenomenon, and as a result, it doubles the number of Americans who are at risk of these kinds of flooding events. And not just in hill country of Texas or the Southwest deserts, but cities like New York, where a big chunk of folks live in flood zones unwittingly, people in basements most vulnerable, because the dynamics there are the same as a canyon or arroyo. It's that water rushing on hard surfaces faster than you can run and bringing such destruction in its path.
Catastrophic flooding in Rio Doso, moving cars and homes, leaving behind used boots and memories and picture frames.
Got so full in the river that it started traveling backwards.
Arturo Olivas and his family capturing these videos showing debris floating down the river, watching from afar and eventually deciding to leave their home for higher ground.
So it was just like a whirlpool.
Still trying to survey the damage 2 days later.
We're kind of staying here and there, and it's been chaotic.
And Arturo's daughter's house just next door.
This is their house, and that's the light pole for this house.
The family bringing boxes, hoping to salvage anything they can. And even after their personal devastation, the lives of those killed in the floods, including the small children, weighing heavy here.
I could only imagine the last seconds of their life, how scared they were not to have their parents.
In Rio Doso, Aaliyah Chavez, KOAT Action 7 News.
You know, the power of water is pretty amazing, but still, I can't fathom it.
What was once a narrow, beautiful pond in front of Philip Young's home is now a cliff with no safe way of getting across. A couple of friends are visiting him from Florida. What was supposed to be a one-night stay turned into a different adventure.
The water washed over the driveway and just pushed all the trees and everything, and it just uprooted. This is what happened. It was pretty shocking when I walked around here for the first time.
Although you'll see Young in our interview, it could only be done through the phone and our Zoom lens due to safety. Young says conditions on Wednesday looked normal at first. Then into the night, water started rushing in a way he's never seen before.
We had a lot of rain, obviously. This beautiful pond was fed by 2 creeks on either side of my house. And the water, it was like, I've never seen anything like it, the amount of water that's come through here. And it just overwhelmed my drain system and flowed over the driveway and just ended up collapsing this part of the dam. It's, I never fathomed, or it was a little overwhelming to look at because I just really couldn't comprehend what I was looking at.
Just 30 minutes later, all the water was gone, but so was his road.
Into the pond, I thought it looked like there was just debris in there. I didn't know that it had completely drained until I walked around here and saw what I saw here.
On the path, one lone duck looked pretty confused to see his home dried up and ruined. Young says in the 24 years he's lived there, the extent of the flood damage was something he was not expecting.
You could have a little washout. This never crossed my mind. Something as catastrophic as this is never, ever crossed. This reminds me of the pictures I saw up in the mountains.
Hazy skies have swallowed skylines. As Canadian wildfire smoke blankets the state, the air quality has dropped into the unhealthy range in the metro until Monday.
There will be patients coming to the ER. There will be patients coming to urgent cares because of the weather and the air quality.
Dr. Andrew Steen is especially concerned about the most vulnerable.
People with asthma or COPD who happen to need to go outside or choose to go outside, it's going to be a very bad weekend.
Young athletes are also most at risk, and parents need to look out for specific symptoms.
You notice that your kid is slower than normal or seems to be coughing more than normal. That might be their signs that they're having a problem.
For many Minnesotans, the impact already being felt.
Inhaler, oh.
Dr. Chang Lo says pharmacies see a spike every time the air quality tanks.
More people coming in for inhalers, probably eye drops, dry eyes. I've been seeing a lot of dry eyes in the last few days.
Utilizing over-the-counter medication.
Loratadine or Claritin, these are kind of my top go-tos.
And knowing when to take it easy is your best bet.
An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And so the best thing to do for susceptible people this weekend is to avoid the outdoors.
Heavy rain Sunday pummeling parts of central Texas, already reeling from last week's catastrophic flooding. Officials concerned about the Guadalupe River swelling once again. People near Hunt received emergency alerts Sunday, warning them of a high probability of the Guadalupe River reaching flood stage and urging people to get away from the river immediately. Ground search operations were temporarily halted with more storms on the way.
It has been an active day across Texas and watching again overnight for some storms.
Crews have been scouring the flood-ravaged areas for more than a week now. More than 100 people have been killed and scores are still missing. The mayor of Kerrville released a video statement Saturday about the help his town has received from state and federal officials.
They showed up in force, and they've been here every day since, working 24/7.
His comments come amid backlash over the Federal Emergency Management Agency's response. While search and rescue crews from around the country immediately rushed to help, FEMA did not arrive until Monday evening, days after any victims had been found alive. There's also many questions about the state's flood preparedness and a lack of immediate alerts notifying residents about the floods. Some Texas leaders are demanding answers.
We can't just allow girls to drown in the middle of the night. We have to make sure we protect everyone.
At the local level, Texas state leaders say they will focus on pushing legislation that deals with flooding and resources, including an alert system, during their upcoming special session. In Kerrville, Texas, I'm Ivan Rodriguez. Heavy rain over the weekend complicating search and rescue efforts in central Texas.
The search continues. Unfortunately, we lost about a half or three-quarter of a day yesterday to the river going up. But like I said, like y'all said, I've been assured by the governor and the president, we will have the resources to get the job done.
More than 2,000 people from multiple agencies are deployed to assist in the recovery efforts, according to the Kerr County Sheriff.
And search and rescue remains our top priority. But we've moved on to also include recovery. And that's where we had the people out in the river basin doing a lot of work. We're trying to get a handle on things. So just be patient with it as we go forward.
As the community grapples with the July 4th flooding that killed more than 130 people, including 27 campers and counselors at Camp Mystic in Hunt, Texas, messages of appreciation and concerns over rebuilding continue.
I would love to have the ability to understand where businesses can look for assistance. Ourselves, we lost several $1 million in this disaster, as well as everybody else.
This tragic event has proven the greatness of humanity. Please pray for the families who were affected. Thank you for blessing Kerr County with kind hearts and love of mankind.